welcome to A Circle and Salve Women. Today is one-to-one talk day, and so I get to be transparent with you once again, really just sticking to my words and being true as much as I possibly can as the words roll, and really hoping that we keep ourselves in the light and strengthening ourselves, empowering ourselves to know that if we ponder upon our actions and our thoughts, that we can be doing right at every given moment that we possibly are able to. And in this focus for today, our focus is a stumble. I will share with you two of which I believe it is and two of which I believe it is not. So let's just go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started with, to me, based off of my experiences and understanding of, just the many journeys I've had in life of what is a stumble. First of all, it is a pause. It is a pause because it is a time for you to recheck. If you're anything like me, you are going 80 miles per hour, and even if you're not, if you're going 75, sometimes we're still trying to do too much. We're trying to do 10 when we really should be focusing on just 2 each day, because we want to check it off and go, I did that, and then feeling somewhat good about it, and yet we were haphazard at doing it and not really having full control of the situation. So when we stumble, it's a moment for us to go, wait, hold on. What is happening here where I am being asked to kind of look at something, because now I have this given opportunity to go, have I done everything in the means that I should have, or have I just gone about it somewhat mediocre, leading me to that mediocre, level of success or just level of a finish line. And so take that opportunity when you do stumble, especially in these moments of restrictions, right? When we ran into moments of pauses, we really need to go, okay, what can I do right now? I'm given this opportunity to pause and go, hold on, what can I focus in on that I could fine tune? What can I do that, I never had the time to do before that I could add into this to help me prosper, to help me thrive, to help me move directly into the position that I should be moving in, rather than just going about it because time is going too fast. And, when we are given that opportunity, don't think of it as like, oh my gosh, it's over. I have stumbled, and all of a sudden now I find myself, just really feeling like nothing is going in the way that I had hoped, because I was supposed to be finishing like 10 and I'm only getting to 1 or 2. So what? Do your 1 or 2 and do it well. And then take a look and go, okay, these 1 and 2 that I'm focusing in on today will lead me to greater things, will lead me to better accomplishments, if I just make sure that I'm actually looking at this as a means to improve. If I quit, I'm not going to get anything done. If I'm just checking everything off, I'm going to get a lot done and yet not have anything effectively or impactfully done, because I thought just doing more would be better. So keep that in mind when you are in a stumble, that when you have to think of it as it's a pause, it's a moment to recheck and go, how am I doing? And if something is in the back of your head going, well, you could be doing better, then listen to that and say to yourself, what could I be doing to be better, so that obviously I will get to that level of accomplishment where I feel that I've really attained the level of, just that level of feeling I did it. I did it in the way that it should have been done, rather than it was done and I'm not very proud of it. The second part of what it is a redirection. When you're thinking about a stumble, sometimes we're moving in a certain direction and we are headed in the wrong direction. So I believe, God, just really in me, just God believing that when I stumble, it's like God's going, whoop, hold on. You are not supposed to go in that direction. That was not your purpose. That was not to be your intent. And now you need to make certain that you stop and you turn back around, because it's not too late. It's never too late, right? To start over and go, let's go in this direction, the direction you should have been heading toward, had you not lost focus, had you not lost sight. And so when you are redirecting, think of it as, obviously, it's a good thing, because some of us want to just wake up and do the same routine every day. We think, you know what, there's really nothing to it in life anymore. This is just me. I wake up, I do what I have to do, I do my non-negotiables, I do my needs, and sometimes I get to my wants, and that's great if I do. If I don't, I really want to get to my wants all the time, but I'm just going to go about it and, be complacent about life, because this is what life is. There is no one should be holding themselves at that mentality where you think you have no control. Because if that's the case, then you have surrendered to the idea that you are not responsible for your actions, and that you no longer have the power within you to make some changes. And so, with you blaming everything else as if all of a sudden you're under such control, think about why. Why are you allowing yourself under such control where you think it's, this is over, I've stumbled and it's done and I can no longer redirect? No, redirect, start over. If you have to start like you're feeling as if you're starting back at zero, at least you are still idling to a point of moving forward. You have not succumbed to the full surrender where you're saying it's done, it's over with me, and I'm just going to go ahead and go about life the way it's, I see it has been going for the last years, and there's no change. And if you are finding yourself in that moment where you feel like there is to be no change at all, whose fault is that? Who is behind that steering wheel, steering the direction? Is it you, or is it your life? And if life is happening to you where you feel all of a sudden, I need to make some changes, then do so. And if you keep telling yourself, well, I can't, move. How about you just try to say, what if I just inch into I can? What if I just inch into that, to making a left instead of a right? And just keep trying and keep trying. And, holding yourself accountable for the direction that you are taking. Your life should not be where every day you are waking up and you're saying to yourself, nothing's going to change. It is what it is. And this is where I've been placed. My mom was here. My grandma was here. That type of mentality is not going to really inspire anybody who is looking up to you and thinking that there perhaps could be a different life. There perhaps could be a different lifestyle. And so you have to think of it from that position. Now, those are the two, right? If you are finding yourself at a stumble, think, this is my pause, this is my recheck, this is my moment to redirect. And that way I can really take this in the half is, the glass is half full mentality, and going, hold on, thank you for giving me this opportunity to stumble, because now I have an opportunity to make it better, to make it stronger, to move in the right direction. Thank you so much for making sure that I was not headed in that idea that life has to be mediocre, that life has to be just a surrender to what it is and what it gives me. Thank you for reminding me that I have the control to make some change, to redirect, to go, okay, maybe it'll feel like I am going to be failing at this, but because I am trying, then I know that at least my heart is directing me to a change in life, rather than waking up every day and feeling like nothing has ever gotten better. Again, holding yourself responsible, holding yourself accountable for those moments where you are given that opportunity to really pause, recheck, and redirect. So what is not? Two things. It's not the end, okay? People think, I run into people that have done the same thing over and over for basically all their lives. They planned on, going to college, and then all of a sudden, and not everybody is that, that feeling like you have to go to college. Go to college because you're reaching a goal, right? You're going in there to be certified or something, or that you know that you need it to move on to the next level or to the next milestone in your life. If you are one of those that feel like, well, I don't need college, I just need some kind of vocational school to get me to where I need to go, or just some type of skill that will get me to my passion, then go about it and own it, and then give it your best, give it your 100%. And again, if your 80% is your 100%, then give it, right? But just keep on giving the best of you that you can. Don't think, however, that a stumble should be the end, because all of a sudden you run into some obstacles, you run into some challenges, and that you are feeling that you know, it's your moment of surrender. Surrender to what? Surrender that things didn't go the way you wanted to, that things did not happen as fast as you wanted to, or that, you know, it's taking you 5 years and you said that you were going to accomplish it in 2. So what? Keep thinking about, well, let me pause again, let me recheck again, let me redirect again, let me keep going, right? I mean, come on, the light bulb was eventually made by over 1,000th try. And you know, there's always that quote, it took 1,000 times, right? But then think about it. Does it in your life pertain to that type of mentality where you stopped at 999? You know, and then said to yourself, well, I guess I'm never going to get to any change that I want for the better, and I'm just going to go ahead and surrender to this, and it's the end now. This is me. This is who I am. This, you know, it's not what I wanted to be, but this is my life. And who's going to wake up every day having to say that? You. And think about that. You know, it is not the end. It is only the end when you no longer can wake up and face another day. Think about that. It is always going to be your try that you must hold yourself responsible for, in making sure that you know you have the strength from within you to push forward. No one goes to the gym and just says, well, you know what, I'm not going to be able to gain another muscle today. I'm not going to be able to lose weight, you know. No one looks at their plate and says, well, I might just well eat this because there's no way I'm going to be able to lose weight. It's just going to keep coming. It's just going to keep coming. You know, these are the things that you feed yourself. And once you start feeding that type of mentality, then yeah, it will probably be the end for you, because you made that choice. You really held yourself to that mindset of going, there's nothing, and nothing can get better. It is what it is, and this is where I'm at. And then, you know, you're then filling yourself up with people around you that says, well, that's just how it's going to be, honey. And that's not the case. You have to empower yourself to go, who says that this is how it's going to be? If I am able-bodied, if there is nothing holding me back other than my mentality, my perseverance to do so, why is it that I have not put my right foot in front of my left foot, and then put my left foot in front of my right foot every day? I don't care if I'm inching, but I am moving forward, and I don't care if I'm going to stumble again. I know that I'm going to keep pausing. I'm going to keep redirecting. I'm going to keep being able to recheck myself and go, okay, hold on, what can I learn from this as I move forward? If you do not move, you're not going towards whatever it is that you have dreamed about, that you have wanted to fulfill. And you know what? At the end of the day, if it does not happen, you have the next day. Keep pushing forward. It does not mean it's the end. No matter how hard it may feel and how spent your body may be feeling, it is still an opportunity for you to go, I get to do this again tomorrow. Just keep trying. Just keep trying to move in the direction. And you know, you can be then that testimony, say, I did it. And then that way, when you do get there, then you can say to others, oh gosh, you know what? The challenges were there. The sacrifices were there. There were days I wanted to quit, but I kept going. I kept pursuing, and here I am. You don't want to be those people that said coulda, shoulda, woulda, and I never got there. Don't be that story. Be the one that really has that story of saying, I made it and I continued on with all of what I said I was going to do. And yes, it did not happen in all, you know, in the way that I'd wanted to. In the years that I had hoped, it did not happen as quick, but I got here. And so I can tell you that you can get here as well. Please keep that in mind. There are those watching you. And so that goes to the very last one of a stumble, what it's not. It is not a failure. You are not a failure unless you choose to be. And you know, if you're going to do that, and that's fine. But people who succeed are not going to feel sorry for you. because they know that, when you continue, you will get to where you need to be. And every day you get closer to it and closer to it. And if you've ever accomplished anything, you're just going to ask yourself, what next? I've done this, now what else can I do? And that is that mentality of persevering, of making sure that you have to psych yourself into thinking, someone's watching me. I'm responsible for someone else looking at me going, okay, how are they going to handle this moment? How are they going to handle their hardships and their challenges? How are they going to deal with it where they're not saying, I've failed, I'm done, it's over? You cannot be doing that to yourself, because at the end of the day, you've made that choice. You cannot then go to the world and to the society and saying, well, you know what? I failed because of this person. I failed because that given moment. Well, that was a moment. That was a person. It was not everything that held you down. The most that can hold you down is your mind, your body, your heart, and your spirit. Now, your body could be completely missing something, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, hold on, now I have no legs. There are people who will tell you that they didn't need legs to move around, right? Oh, now I have no arms. There will be people who will tell you I didn't need arms to drive. There's just so many components to life that we could say, oh, this held me back, and so therefore I failed. Yeah, you chose to fail because you chose to stop. Keep persevering. Keep telling yourself that you can. And again, go back to that mentality, that light, that part in you that, can be empowered and strengthened to go, hold on. A stumble is not the end. A stumble is not a failure. A stumble is a pause so that I can then recheck and go, what could I do better? What could I improve in? What can I fine tune to be even better than today? And then make sure then that if I need to redirect, let me then position myself to that direction, that path, that moment in life where I can go, oh goodness, thank you for getting me back into the right path that I need to go, so that way I can keep going forward. And just that forward movement all the time. And hold yourself accountable for that. Hold yourself accountable. Don't commiserate with people that talk about what they were, what they could have been, and they never got to, and all of that. Connect with people that have succeeded, that have persevered, that have gone through the challenges, that have gone through all of this, in spite of everything. They said, yes, it was challenging, but here I am now. It doesn't matter what level you started. If you keep going, you will get there. And it doesn't, again, please don't think that just because you didn't make it on, year 1 or year 2, that you can't make it in your year 3 or year 4. There's never the case. There's never the case. Just keep going, so that every day you wake up, you go, here's another day. Here's another day where I hold myself responsible for what day is ahead of me. So with that said, in the words of my mother, God bless us all. Please keep doing you. Please keep embracing the effort to be the best of you. Don't ever surrender to being less than your best. And if there are just days where you're feeling like, oh, I'm not able to, then give yourself also permission to say, but if I rest today, I'm going to give it my 10 the rest of the week. And, sometimes we do have to stumble to kind of say to ourselves, well, is this a moment for us to breathe? Is this a moment for us to take some time to ponder on our actions and what direction we're going? That's okay. As long as you're moving forward, then you're continuing to be the best that you were made to be. And that's all you can really say to yourself is, you know what? I am embracing me, I am loving me, and I'm doing the best I can. And be true to that. Be true to yourself, always. We'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you so much.